Okay, I'm here. We made it. And let me just say, I think we all learned a valuable lesson here tonight, especially if you are a newer fan to our crazy sport of mixed martial arts. No matter how a card is going, from the beginning to the co-main event, you stick it through. Because if you stuck this one through, you were treated to two ultra-violent finishes, including Yuri Prochazka. I thought he killed Dominick Reyes. I thought he actually killed the man with that spinning back elbow. That was absolutely ferocious. Yuri Prochazka is about to fight for a UFC title in his third fight. This is unbelievable. What a crazy ending to UFC Vegas 25, and we are here to talk to all of you all about this crazy card. Wow. I don't even have any more words to say about that finish from Yuri Prochazka. That was a crazy ass fight. I think we get a fight of the year front runner. I think we have a knockout of the year front runner, and it's just May 1st right now. Unbelievable. Anyways, I am Mike Heck, being joined right now by José Youngs.
What's up, guys? I'm also Andy Ruiz just won.
Oh,
so everyone will know. People were excited for that, and that fight was bananas. So after this, go read all of our stuff at MMAfighting.com and then go watch the highlights of that fight, because that fight was bananas and a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, I saw that Ruiz got dropped in the second round, and then this main event started, and good God. Casey live on the ones and twos.
Arreola, at one point, Arreola was 50-1, and he was winning the fight at one point.
Combat sports. You just never know what you're going to get. Casey's here. I don't know if AK's here yet.
No, I'm here. AK's goofing off, probably doing work and writing articles.
Writing articles, yes. All right, Casey. You nailed this one. Yuri Prochazka gets it done. And what's crazy about that fight is he looked so good in the first. Reyes kept throwing heaters at him, was landing big shots, and Prochazka was just like, okay. He would like point at him every once in a while. And then the second round, Reyes stung him, had him on doing the chicken dance. And Reyes decided, nope, I'm just going to jump on him, get this thing to the ground. When he could have stepped back, maybe the fight would have gone a little differently. But Prochazka showing excellent strides on the ground, beat up Reyes. Reyes got back to his feet, and then all hell broke loose once again. And Prochazka finished this fight as violently as you could possibly imagine. What did you think of Yuri Prochazka's performance tonight? This is unbelievable.
I've been on the Yuri kind of train for a little bit, and even I'm continually shocked by how exciting and violent his fights are. I mean, if his chin is that durable, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for him. I mean, he's just gonna be so hard to beat, and I mean, he absolutely had to earn a title shot tonight. I know everyone's like, oh, 2 UFC fights, man, screw that. He's fought plenty of dudes. The guy came in ready to fight for a title. We saw it against Volkan, deaded Reyes, and he's fighting for the title next. And I was just kind of laughing to myself when Biz being just like, oh, you can't fight your hands down like that. I was like, dude, the guy is one fight away from fighting for a title, fighting that way. That's what got him to the dance. That's what's going to get him to the title shot. Let the man fight that way. Is this the smartest way to fight, considering how many shots he was taking? I mean, that chin won't hold up forever like that. But until his chin goes, good God, man, Yuri is going to be one tough cookie to beat. Oof, so exciting.
Jose, like, I can't even describe it. Like,
dude,
Dominick Reyes after that first round.
Go watch.
Just the whole thing.
Shout out to our good friend, Jeff Batari, who was about, if you haven't seen the photo, I just tweeted it out. He was like an inch away from the blow. Dominick Reyes looks dead. And dead. And I know we love Esther, and I think she's the best of the best, but I would put Jeff right there behind her. And my God, did he capture just you want to see a dead body type of moment. But yeah, Yuri, I mean, I was tweeting it out. I'm like, I don't know how this guy is eating these punches. Like his ability to just say F it and just start flailing around, and not just flailing, but like connecting with 1,000 different punches is terrifying. And the fact that he didn't get tired, he was taking damage, but doling out damage is horrifying. It's like classic Tony Ferguson style where nothing he's doing should be working, but it is, and it's working so violently. And like we all agree, Dominick Reyes is an elite fighter, like one of the best fighters on planet Earth. Anthony Pettis is the same thing. Rafael dos Anjos, same thing. Tony Ferguson is beating those guys, and I'm watching the highlights on my TV right now. That's why I'm looking up. And he's beating them, and you're like, how is this guy doing what he's doing, and why is it working? That's the vibe I got from Yuri Prochazka, where after the first round, I'm like, oh, he can't keep this up for 4 more rounds. And then he just decapitated a human being on national television. And imagine if this fight was on ABC. Come on.
I know.
Bananas fight.
Look who's here.
And like I said at the beginning, like I was watching the Andrew Ruiz Ariel fight, and then I was also watching the UFC. I'm like, wow, but like, because remember we were talking about like the Triller was the same day as Whitaker Gastelum. I'm like, God, just the worst card for counter programming. Yeah. And then like the Andrew Ruiz Arreola fight started, in the first 2 rounds I was like, oh, this is the same thing. The UFC has terrible luck with counter programming major like high level, like this is high level boxing. Mm-hmm. And then this main event happened, or Giga Chikadze, and then the main event happened. I was like, all right, night saved, but my God, Yuri is a horrifying man. I completely get if he wants the title shot next and the UFC wants to have him wait. But if Glover and Jan are fighting in September and Yuri wants to get in another one quick and get another paycheck, I wouldn't hate if him and Ratchik were the co-main event of that card, just so Yuri or Ratchik could be the standby. Mm-hmm. So like, you know how we talked about that in Houston when they booked Corey Anderson and Jan the week after, and we were all like, why is this not the co-main so they can all be on the same timeline? So main event, title fight, co-main event, number 1 contender fight / standby, light heavyweight division is very exciting now.
Hi, AK. How are you, my friend?
Oh, hello, everyone. What a main event that was.
That was something else.
That is an understatement. Jesus.
Can you explain to me, AK? And like we saw this throughout the fight, like within the first minute, Dominick Reyes looked like he got hit with a sledgehammer at the end of that first round. Like it was brutal. And somehow, even after he got wobbled and in big trouble, Yuri Prochazka actually looked better. Like when the fight was over, like his face looked better. It was like shinier. It just looked better. Like, how is this possible? How is this possible?
I think he's got that BJ Penn skin. I think it's like he doesn't bleed. It doesn't crack. Like you said, the punches almost like I won't say sandpaper, but that's not right. I'm buffing. Sorry, the punches are almost buffing his face. They're buffing his lovely face, and as you said, kind of having him come out even fresher than he did before. He sort of said in the interview with Paul Felder afterwards that he was kind of like, oh, he wished he hadn't gotten hit so much, and so then. But I just said, Mike, you almost couldn't tell. The guy is an anomaly. He's an enigma. I mean, whatever word you want to use for saying this guy is one of a kind. He's almost the evolutionary Keith Jardine as far as people saying like, oh, his style, like it doesn't look like it should work. And it's like, how is he landing some of these strikes from the angles he's throwing from? But he's got a lot more power than I think Jardine used to have. And again, I think the technique is even more evident. I think I was still surprised. We were talking about this before the show that the commentary during the Ozdemir fight last time, they were kind of like, oh, what's this guy doing? He's getting us into trouble. And I thought they were done with that. But even tonight, they were like, oh, he should get his hands up and it looks cool. But I mean, is he really effective? And he was like lighting Reyes up. And I'm like, what are they talking about? His style is what it is. I mean, you might want to say no one else should try it. But for Yuri Prochazka, it is clearly the perfect style. It's kick-ass style, which you can't argue against.
I would give all 4 bonuses to Yuri Prochazka. You got to give Giga Chikadze obviously one of the bonuses, but these are probably the easiest bonuses we've ever picked. It's Giga, it's Yuri, and then the fight of the night is
main event.
Yuri and Reyes.
Yeah, it's Yuri.
Poor Kamaka and Brown, or poor Kamaka.
Yeah, Kamaka Brown. Yeah, seriously.
Poor Kamaka. Jeez, gets screwed over, and I feel bad. Oh. Was that fight today?
You can say it. You can say it.
I feel bad for Brown because that was an amazing fight, but he didn't win the fight.
Yeah, it was funny about great fight. Great effort. Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny about that whole thing is Eric Nixick was not happy with the judges, and then after Giga Chikadze finished Cub Swanson, Eric Nixick goes on. He goes, "Adelaide Bird still scored the round for Cub Swanson." But Adelaide Bird was the one judge who gave the 30-27 to Kamaka.
Delete the tweet. Delete the tweet. Delete it. I know. I get the joke, but you missed it. You missed it.
I saw a bunch of people saying that though. I saw a lot. I mean, I tweeted out immediately. I said, I think Adelaide Bird got this one right, and I saw a lot of people, not in response to me, just in general in the line, saying like, "Oh, Adelaide Bird struck again," and I couldn't tell if they just didn't agree with the 30-27 call, or they just assumed that she scored a 30-27 for Brown. Because again, look, we give Adelaide Bird a lot of criticism. I think a lot of it justified. I think she was at least, even if you don't agree with the 30-27, I think she picked that fight right. I think Kamaka won, and she had the 30-27 Kamaka. So let's give Adelaide Bird a little bit of a break tonight, I think.
Yes, and we have a robbery review, I assume, coming.
Yes.
Forthcoming, AK?
I have to.
Yes.
I think we have to.
The people have demanded it. So,
real quick, I love the comments coming in from everyone watching and stuff. But guys, stop saying Dominick Reyes sucks or he's got a glass chin or all that crap. That's just
you guys
you guys are being just crappy MMA fans, just bad MMA fans. He fought in a freaking war tonight and he lost. That's all that happened. He lost to maybe the best 205er in the world. We don't know yet, but that's all. Don't stop saying that Dom Reyes sucks. You guys are just being jerks. That's all. I just gotta get that out of my system.
This was a good card. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You're getting knocked out by that spinning back elbow. I mean, that was clean.
And Reyes landed a lot of shots that I think would have dropped or at least wobbled a lot of other light heavyweights, but not Procházka. And again, not just because Procházka has a great chin. I do think he has a gift also for sort of slipping shots and making, sort of almost like Anderson Silva used to do, where it's like it looked like it landed clean, but if he knows what he's doing and probably didn't land as cleanly as we thought. So that kind of gift. But again, I thought this card was good. I thought we all said on paper this looks like a lot of competitive fights, and we got a lot of competitive fights. And there's maybe a couple of snoozers, but that's okay. That happens on a lot of any MMA card. I don't want to say UFC, and like any MMA card. So I actually thought this card was really good, but thankfully it was capped off by two super exciting finishes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough when the first fight is really good and really interesting, because the first fight of the night between Luke Sanders and Colares was crazy, and then it's hard to follow that up, and I think that's what a lot of these fighters had to deal with. And then we had the one finish before the co-main event was the DQ, which obviously
we don't call that a finish, right?
That's a finish.
It's not even technically a finish. Is it a finish? I mean, the fight finished. It's not a finish.
A stoppage, and then we had a split draw, and it's oh man, this is just a wild night. And then of course last
Marcus Pinheiro was really exciting, I think, up until that horrible foul. That was looking like it was going to be a really good fight as well.
Which fight?
The Pinheiro Marcos fight. That was a good fight up until the DQ.
I thought Marcos was going to say she couldn't see. I thought they were going to wave it off then.
She had a big old cut on her eyelid too. I was like, dang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get to that later, but yeah.
There's just so much to talk about.
I mean, I saw people griping about the card. I thought for a fight night, I thought it was an above average fight night for sure. I thought it was a good fight night on paper, and I thought it delivered. So
yeah, listen,
agreed.
We had UFC 261 a week ago. Following that is impossible.
Oh yeah,
but I thought, all things considered, this one did a pretty damn good job. Obviously, Procházka's got options. If he wants to come back and take another fight, he can. If he wants to wait and fight for the belt, he can certainly do that. For Dominick Reyes, coming out of this one, he's lost 3 in a row. This was a bad knockout. This is one of the worst, just one of the worst knockouts, just from a aesthetic perspective that you're going to see in the sport. I mean, it was just violent. He was down. It took him a while to get back to his feet. At this point, Casey, let me ask you this. Do we kind of do we give him the Calvin Kattar treatment right now? We don't want to see him for a while, keep him out maybe the rest of the year after a knockout like that. He's been knocked out viciously 2 fights in a row. Yeah. This one was really bad. Do we kind of just slow roll him and let him take the rest of the year off?
Yeah, well, it's going to be at least 6 months for sure. I mean, getting knocked out first of all, it wasn't I want to say a flash knockout. Say when Wei Li got knocked out last week. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. When Wei Lee got knocked out, that was kind of a flash knockout. And since there wasn't a lot of, concussive brain damage, it's just one shot really. But Reyes just took, a full round of that beating, and then way into the second round took a big beating. And just because he has such a giant heart, and just could continue fighting, but getting hit of an elbow like that that's hard, man. It's a bad loss for your body. Yeah, that's gonna be a while for him to come back. And I hope, man, Don Reyes, he's just a decent dude, and man, I feel bad for Don Reyes. I mean, I was picking Yuri, but these guys are humans, they're people, they have lives, they have families, friends, and just that looked bad. That looked bad. That's a mean elbow. Mean elbow.
I just went to the UFC News Twitter page just to see if the bonuses popped up. I mean, we already know what they're probably going to be. And I just saw the photo that Jose was talking about of Procházka landing that elbow. Oh, my God. Go look at that picture. It's insane.
Well, dude, just a week ago, we were talking about knockout of the year. And then look at this. We already... This is right. I mean,
this is the knockout of the year.
I have no idea. And they're all right there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, if we're talking about like Usman has like the one punch knockout of the year, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But
I mean, a spinning back elbow, only been 3 of these in UFC history. Whew. Good God. That was something else.
And that's a proper technique too. That's actually just a kind of a general, just regular Muay Thai technique. As soon as you kind of come off, you kind of have your back to the guy, just swing that elbow around. And Reyes when you're beat up for that long, he just wasn't mentally there to go. As soon as that back turns of your opponent, hands up all the time. That was almost reminiscent of, I know it wasn't elbow, but I think of like King Mo and Emmanuel Newton, kind of just backing away and just throwing that back fist. It's just, God, I love spinny shit. I love spinny shit.
Does this mean Yuri? Does that mean Yuri's going to get really into the Illuminati now?
I'm pretty
sure.
What happened. I'm pretty sure the Illuminati is in his antenna. I'm sure that's where the Illuminati lives.
Because that's what happened to Emmanuel Newton after he got that knockout.
Yeah.
Casey, did you enjoy all the Christoph Jocko spinning stuff we saw? Because he was throwing some wild techniques out tonight. Some of them landed. I think he almost kind of hit the Yair elbow.
He did land it. He did that. That was cool. Yeah. That was cool. But
he was throwing some stuff. But
he
had to.
It was stuff. It was stuff. I'll call it stuff. Yeah, we'll call it that.
He knew he was technically, like, Strickland was a technically better striker. So I love that he's just like, you know what, I'm not going to get picked apart here. I'm just going to throw stuff out and whatever. If he loses, he ended up losing a decision anyway. It would have been the same if he tried to have like conservative, striking style. And I love that. There was really some really enjoyable fights tonight.
Yeah.
The bonuses are out. They are what we thought they were. Fight of the night, main event, performances of the night, Procházka and Giga Chikadze. 50 G's for those gentlemen, 100 G's for Yuri. So I guess for Dominick Reyes, if there is a silver lining, you got an extra 50 G's. But man, hopefully he comes back and he's all good, and obviously positive vibes to Dominick Reyes after that fight.
Yeah, just for his health.
What about
I know career wise he's bummed out, but I'm actually worried about Dom's health. I think that was a beating, and to go out like that for a guy that tough, when they go out, that means they got hit hard. Good God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was a brutal one. Let us talk about Giga Chikadze. Finishes Cub Swanson in just over a minute. I mean, come on. Do you guys thank you. That's all I needed. Listen, I'm wrong sometimes.
Sometimes.
This time I was on the island. I didn't expect Giga to stop Cub Swanson. I thought Giga would win a decision. Mm-hmm. I certainly didn't see him finishing Cub in a minute, but here we are. Giga Chikadze gets a big win. What did you think, Jose?
I'm a big mark for Giga Chikadze. Didn't think that would happen. did I know he was capable of it? 100%. But man, I picked Cub to win just because I thought like strength of competition, and I just showed you that every fight is different because Giga Chikadze, didn't he start his UFC career with like 2 split decisions victories? And then he even fought like a bantamweight in Jacksonville on short notice, and he fought that guy to a decision. And then he just got his first stoppage win his last fight, and then he beats Cub Swanson faster and more dominantly than he did in any of his other previous fights. So the man's only getting better. I tweeted I want to see him fight the winner of Burgos and Barbosa very badly. Don't know if that will happen. He called out Cater or Holloway. Don't know if that will happen. I think Cater's obviously a more realistic opponent, but I still think Cater might be a little higher up in the rankings. But if Cater just wants to get back in there against a red-hot opponent, then F it. Giga Chikadze is literally, he's speaking on my TV right now as we speak. So, yeah, Giga Chikadze rules, and I can't wait to see who he fights next, and I hope it's against a high-level striker that can match him technique for technique.
Yeah, Giga took the old college application approach with his call-outs. Like, he shot for Max Holloway, but then, like, Calvin Kattar was, like, his backup school, like the University of Calvin Kattar. And, I mean, he's probably not going to get either of those fights. I mean, because Kattar, we probably won't see him till late fall, early winter, November maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping to get a chance to see those fine folks a week from today. That's the plan at this point. So maybe we'll get an update on Calvin and all that fun stuff. But what a performance from Giga Chikadze.
I like your suggestion, Mr. Heck, you put out there earlier.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I know me and AK do the matchmaking thing, and maybe this won't happen now, but I feel like featherweight isn't quite where bantamweight is, but I think it's pretty damn close. Like, you got the heads up top, you got the Holloways and the Volk.
Oh, sorry.
Punch.
Oh, Mr. Heck, your Wi-Fi is.
No, the internet has betrayed us.
Oh no. AK, take over. What was he gonna say?
He was about.
Oh, wait,
he was about to take us on a journey. Oh, there's back. He's back.
You're back. Heck.
You're back. Okay.
You're taking.
Yes.
You started the journey. Continue.
A matchmaking journey.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know now. Yes, Giga versus Zabit. I don't know if that's going to happen based on reports from Russia, because I guess Zabit's leaning towards retirement, perhaps.
Here's
We'll
what
see happens. But anyways,
I was going to say. I was going to wait if someone asked a question about Zabit specifically, but word around the Russian media when we were on Fight Island is like that was probably going to happen. I'm honestly surprised the Zabit news came out so late, because on Fight Island they're like, Zabit's never going to fight again. That's what all the Russian media was saying then. So my lean towards him not fighting in the UFC ever again, unfortunately.
In the UFC, or is he retiring?
Retiring.
Okay. No, yeah.
Apparently the thing was he saw, and this is what a bunch of them told me, is Zabit saw how much Khabib's life changed, and the fame terrified him. Like he just saw how like he couldn't leave his house without being recognized, and he goes, "This is not what I want in my life."
Wow,
crazy. That's some serious deep look within themselves to make a decision like that.
If that's true,
anyways,
I respect that so much.
Yeah, absolutely. But the suggestion I put on Twitter, if you guys miss it, is, and I know I'm sure we're not going to see this now because they don't like to put two prospects up against each other, especially two guys like this. But sometimes you just got to see what happens. And I would love to see a stylistic matchup between Giga Chikadze and Bryce Mitchell. Like, that would just be a sick fight. Like, the striking of Chikadze, and I know Mitchell just fought Andre Fili, and Andre Fili's a very good striker in his own right, but ain't Giga Chikadze. Giga Chikadze is an elite level kickboxer, and then Bryce Mitchell is just a suffocation machine on the mat. So I'd love to see how Giga would do it. And Giga fought Jamal Emmers and had to deal with that in his second UFC fight, and Emmers is a tough matchup for a lot of these guys at 145. So I get that. It was a split decision. A lot of people thought Jamal Emmers won that fight. I thought Jamal Emmers won that fight. But at this point, after a win like that, I would be really interested to see what that matchup would look like. I'm leaning more towards what Jose's thinking. I think we're going to see the winner of Barboza Burgos fight Giga Chikadze. But, what about Ryan Hall? That would be interesting, too. We don't know what the hell's happening with him. We don't know if the Aaliyah Taporia fight is a real thing or not. We haven't been able to confirm Ryan Hall's side of that fight. So I don't even know if that fight's happening. But if it's not,
I like it. I like
An
it.
option.
I like it. I just want Ryan Hall to fight. I don't care who. Just okay.
So we'll see.
But referring back to your internet issues, Suzanne.
I need that AOL. I need that AOL landline stuff.
See, AK knows what's going on. AK knows what's up.
Yeah, I see. You get it.
But damn good win for Giga Chikadze. Super impressive stuff. Gets it done. He wanted the name. He wanted the step up. He got it, and he delivered, man. That's all you can ask for.
Oh, I just would say a super highly technical kick. Set it up with the high roundhouse, then went to the body. It was just great. And then it was very similar to a I don't know if all the fans remember Kakuno. He fought in Dream. That Kakuno kick that kind of hits the ball of the foot right at the kind of kidney rib area. And those things hurt so much. They're really actually hard to kick because if you throw the kick, it just kind of feels unnatural and it feels like it can break your toes when you kick into the body like that. But if you do it right, it hurts so much. And I actually a year and a half ago, I was up at Jackson's in Albuquerque, and they were kicking me like over and over just to try out the kick. And the next day, my entire body was just covered in bruises just from practicing the kick. So, and Cub's such a tough dude, So, yeah, that is a vicious now the Giga kick, but yeah.
I'd never heard him Swanson make a sound like that before because there was like an audible like he got hit. And it's in the apex, of course. So you're gonna hear, we're back in the, with no fans. It was like I can't even replicate it. But then
one more time.
You don't hear fighters. It was like you don't hear fighters. I know I change it every time. So put those three together, and you had some idea of the sound that Cub made. You just don't hear fighters react like that. I mean, that's how you know it was. I really wish the referee had jumped in a little bit sooner because. I mean, Cub wasn't getting back up. If Giga had backed up, I mean, it was going to be over. He didn't need to do the follows, right? And I don't blame. I'm saying I'm not Giga. It's not Giga's fault. The fact that the referee didn't step in. If I'm Giga, I'm like, well, I can't take any chances to go in and strike. But yeah, that's how accurate that was. And I think the fight was 63 seconds. I think breaking down those seconds would be really fun. Yeah, but it's going to be really fun breaking those down, like you said, how he set it up because a lot happened actually in that first minute. Just looking at like what they both like, again, like you said, his movement and how he set everything up, it was a beauty to watch.
Yeah, he's just so good from the outside, and if you can't get in there, man, he'll just pick you apart like that all night long. Apparently, Giga is calling out everybody. He said Max. Now he wants to fight next week, and even added Yair Rodriguez's name to the mix. So,
Giga Yair, that is an excellent fight too. Do you think Giga's gonna be one of those guys that because he obviously wants to fight someone ahead of him, ahead in the rankings? Who do you think's willing to take that fight though, to fight someone, that risky, basically, high risk, low reward?
Got to be a guy that is coming off an L that's still highly ranked, like a Calvin Kattar, that or like what like a Dominick Reyes against Yuri. Like Yuri is so dangerous and unknown, but he's coming off back-to-back losses that he can't afford to say no at that point in his career. It's got to be something like that. Kattar's probably the guy. It's just not going to happen.
AK, real quick. Can you block?
No,
this?
we're not. I was saying we got to start ignoring this.
Just block it.
He just wants this child just wants attention.
AC, I'm gonna fill you in on how the millennials talk. Pretty much anyone born post 1990 just wants attention, and they're gonna say whatever they want to get attention. So you did yourself a disservice by giving this individual attention because now he won't do it. That is how social media works. A lot of people tweet nonsense because what do they want, gentlemen?
Oh man,
attention. So don't give it to them. If anyone else born pre-1990 needs another lesson in how the internet works, Professor José Youngs is here to help.
You have gone in on social media today, and I applaud it. I mean, I think you've spoken a lot of truths today, sir. But Casey, regarding who would take a fight with Giga, I mean, buddy, you just need a savage. You know what I mean? You need a savage. You know who's taking that? You know who's taking that call? One Jeremy Stevens. Like I said, he's available. I'm just saying he kind of freed himself up. I heard he had a fight recently. It fell through for whatever reason. So I'm just saying he's ready to fight. I bet he'd be ready to fight next week.
He is
if
a
Giga
savage.
wanted that.
That's what savages
He's
do.
a savage.
They fight every
Yeah,
week.
so they obviously announced the Arizona card today, and I thought the Drakkar Close Jeremy Stevens would be a perfect ESPN headliner because Drakkar obviously trains here in Phoenix. But if Drakkar is not ready to come back, Giga Jeremy Stevens on ESPN as a featured prelim.
When is that? What's the date for that?
June 12th.
June 12th.
So
It is. So, yeah, don't worry, Casey. It's the week after Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, so you won't have to miss that.
Oh, man.
Crisis averted.
Yeah, Drakkar, when I spoke with Drakkar,
By the way,
he said
we've
probably
mentioned
July
both
or
Paul
August.
brothers now.
We did.
Yeah, and we just saw a comment that said they want to see Josh Fabia against Jack Paul. Whoever
Excellent.
the stepbrother.
Can I
Stepbrother
read
Jack
this?
Paul.
Can I read this brilliant tweet that I just want to follow? I'm sorry, it's not fight related, but I want to follow up on Jose's. I think he's hitting something here, and I know we do a lot of these shows, and this is going to get lost in the ether. But there was a tweet from a guy named Ed Lattimore. This is earlier this week, where he said, "A lot of people are a-holes." He didn't say a-hole on Twitter because they're dealing with unresolved trauma. Here, their words cause a reaction that gets them attention they can't get in their real life, and attention and love look the same to someone not used to receiving either. So I'm not saying that's what happened with today's troll, but I think that's kind of reflects sort of a lot of what Jose is saying. So something to think about. Think about that tweet.
Jed Mashu. What?
Oh no, we're not naming names. We're not naming names.
I did.
We're not naming names.
I did.
No,
I
this
just
is a
happened
place
to
of
cough
love.
when I was saying it.
This is a place of love and understanding. You may want to get that cough checked out. This is a place of love and understanding where all are welcome.
We needed like the old school NBC "The More You Know" graphic in the background.
Yeah.
After you read that, AK, bung bung bung. Zombie versus Giga. That's fun.
Zombies
Ooh,
booked
Zombies versus
against Dan Ige.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the
Forgot about
matchup
that.
they
Well,
both
yeah,
wanted.
we know that. Yeah,
I forgot.
that's still
Featherweight-
something to look at in the future.
Featherweight thumps. Anything between 135 and 170 absolutely rules right now.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
can't wait for that featherweight title fight in 2023.
Man. And bantamweights again today. Freaking Marab and Cody. God, what a high level, just super competitive
Hey,
fight. Like,
stop
oh my
skipping
gosh.
down. Stop skipping the fight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we were okay. I broke the format of the show. Oh yes.
Our man.
Oh yes. Mike, get us back on track. I apologize. Mike, get us back on track. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we talked about the co-main event. We got the split draw. Iwan Kutalaba, Dustin Jacoby. There you have it.
Did we agree with the split draw?
I scored a draw.
So did
I'm
I.
fine with the draw.
But that first round had to be a 10-8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to
So
be
I had 10-8
I
and
love
then
it,
10-9, 10-9.
Yeah. Actually,
and only one judge did it. Only one judge gave him a 10-8.
Yeah. I scored the third round for Kutalaba, but I probably wasn't paying attention.
It was competitive. It was competitive. I think I would have given Jacoby the
I
last two, but I don't think that's crazy at all.
Okay. I thought because I saw everyone had it either 28-28 or I have no issue with that. But what I do have an issue with is while I'm not one of those I hate draws. What sucks is the UFC and this is promoters in general, not just UFC in particular. They treat it like a loss in the sense that they only get paid their show money. So the UFC saved a buck so that kind of sucks. So when draws are fine, but they go home like it's a loss. So that sucks.
Yeah, here's my one issue with the scores. And it wasn't like the 29-28 was somewhat egregious for Kutalaba. It wasn't a disaster scorecard. Giving Iwan Kutalaba the second round was disastrous.
No way you won the second round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think the judge who scored it for Kutalaba gave him 1 and 2.
Oh, that's a bad score then. Okay, that's a bad. Yeah. It was a third round that was kind of a toss up. We thought, and if the first round was at 10-8, so see if Rob Tatum was the judge, easy 10-8.
Mike Bisping's favorite MMA Twitter personality, Rob Tatum. Shout outs to Rob Tatum.
No, everyone likes
Good
Rob.
for Rob. Rob got the rub. So yeah, that was a draw. Fun. It seemed like we even got a glove touch at the beginning of the third round after all the hostility at the face-offs. So that was nice to see. It looks like they have squashed the beef, but they should just run that damn thing back because that was fun. Sean Strickland, good win over Krzysztof Jotko.
Does it really?
There you go.
Does it move him? I think he kind of stays the same, whatever ranking he was. I don't think it really.
Yeah.
It just kind of, all right, it happened. You got to win, got a nice paycheck, but I don't think did we learn anything from Strickland?
That was.
Did he not talk much? Did he not talk much tonight? Am I crazy? Was he not talking?
No, he was much more subdued all around.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like even the post fight interview. Like, remember we were talking about his goofy like post fight interview with Bisping? He was pretty much just like, "I'll fight whoever." Like that's all he said. I'm like, dude, at least make us hate you. Say something that makes us want to watch you fight.
I think Strickland is kind of.
I love being a UFC fighter is what he said. I love being a UFC fighter. I wake up every day and I'm just like, oh, thank you. Thank you for making me a UFC fighter.
I think Strickland's kind of in that kind of middle area where like he wants to kind of talk shit and you know do that thing, but then it just comes out very awkward. And I don't know, it's like just be your kind of weird, bro-y, awkward self, Mr. Strickland. That's the way to go. Don't fake trash talk or anything, or like Brendan Allen took the coward's way out by heel hooking a gentleman. No, just I was on your side, John Strickland. But no, good win. I still don't. People asked earlier, is John Strickland a future title contender? Nothing I saw tonight kind of said that, but clearly he's a quality middleweight, and it seems like he's coming to that frame very well.
Yeah, he should fight a ranked guy. He's 15 right now. He should fight somebody else top 15 next.
Maybe
sure.
I'd say I like the Jacare, the winner of Jacare and his opponent, or the winner of who's Brad Tavares fighting? Akhmedov, Amari.
Yeah.
Aren't they like 14, 15, something like that? I think that
13,
would be a good scrap too. Yeah, I think that'd be a good scrap. Unfortunately, Brandon Allen's probably like ranked right below him. He's not gonna get that fight. Heinisch wouldn't be a bad fight either. That would just be a high action fight.
I like Heinisch, yeah.
I mean, there's an interesting 85 fight coming up next week too. Dawkins and Phil Haas. Like if Dawkins wins, Dawkins and Strickland would be a pretty interesting fight.
Ooh, Dawkins and Phil Haas. That's a cool fight. Yeah, I like that.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, but I like the middleweight division. Outside, we kind of had this not bottleneck, but we kind of the top 5 guys were kind of the same. But no, now the 5 through 15 guys are starting to really shift around and starting to make some moves. So that's exciting.
And then kicking off the main card, AK, take this one, my man. Marab Dvalishvili gets a decision win over Cody Stamann.
It's amazing that Marab is already in that stage where he knows he has an A+ skill, his wrestling. Like whoever he's fighting, he can always go to his wrestling and try and get out a win. So that's in the bank. I think in the Dodson fight too, he also showed a bit of stand up. So it's like he's having fun now and just like, well, I have this base and now I can show some, I can play around in the feet a little bit. It's of course you never want him to get in that range where he gets away from his strength too much and gets like randomly knocked out by somebody. But his striking does look pretty good. There's confidence. He's a good athlete. Stamann, I think, was the right test for him. Again, a solid striker, not an overwhelming striker. So if it was someone that he wanted to, again, he did want to try and show his striking with, that's the guy to do it. And also a good wrestler. So it's not like it's somebody he could totally dominate with his wrestling. I think he had 5 takedowns in total, which is a lot. But I believe it was Mike Carroll, statistician extraordinaire on Twitter, who said like that's the second least that Marab has had in a fight. So that would be like a career best for most people. For Marab, 5 takedowns, like that was an off day. But I mean, he wasn't trying to rely on his wrestling, and it was just a great scrap. 135. We thought this would be a great matchup going in, and it just was so. Again, I was already saying this earlier. So high level. I mean, you gotta love this stuff. I thought it was such a fine opener, and I think Marab is the real deal. I mean, I'll be shocked if he never fights for a UFC title.
Yeah, it was a good fight. And again, it was a tough read because, I mean, I felt like if Stamen was gonna like take that risk. You know what I mean? Like he's just not a risk taker. He's just not that guy that's just gonna do anything out of the ordinary. Like what you see is what you get. He's solid everywhere. He's a very good fighter. But he's just, I don't know. Like if you made like a list of pros and cons for Cody Stamen, like there's not a lot of cons. There's like none. He's just a very good fighter. Like he's a very technical fighter. He does everything right. But that next gear, for some reason, is just not there. Like Marab is just a freak. You got to do some like you have to have a special performance to beat that guy. You got to do.
Do you guys think
out of the ordinary?
Do you guys think Marab needs a finish before he really gets taken seriously by the matchmakers? As like, because again, I think he's had some dominating wins, but I wonder, does he need that highlight reel, like just even like a ground and pound TKO or some like a powerful submission? Do you guys think he needs that before the matchmakers really go like, okay, let's elevate him to the top 10, let's give him a Dominick Cruz? Do you think that matters?
I think every fighter needs that before they get to that kind of those marquee names. Those put them on a pay-per-view as a co-main, or no, but even as a fight night as a co-main. He's not. I mean, he opened up ranking wise, this should have been the co-main tonight, Stamen and Marab, but it wasn't because like you said, the matchmakers just, as far as fan interest, they don't feel that the fan interest is there for those gentlemen, even though they're ranking wise outside of the main event, they shouldn't have been the co-main event. So Marab needs something. He needs a big finish. I mean look at Khabib. How many wins did Khabib need before he started? He was like a prelim guy forever. Usman was a prelim guy forever. Or early fight night guy. So yeah, every fighter needs that kind of big win.
Yeah, it's just, one, bantamweight's tough. It's tough to
and it's freaking bantamweight, the best division in the world too.
Yeah, and Casey Kenny got the Dominick Cruz fight, and I don't think he has any finishes in the UFC. He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's got any finishes.
I think he needs something like, because like you talked about Usman and Khabib, and they like did the UFC favors a lot. Like when Khabib would fight Darrell Horcher on 4 days notice just to stay on the card, or Usman cut weight, serves a backup, and then took fights against RDA and Damian Maia in Chile, and then a tough finale. So he did the UFC's favors. So when Colby turned the fight down in January, they're like, okay, Usman did us you want this? We know you'll say yes. You said yes to everything else. So he needs something like that to fall on his lap too. So the UFC can trust him, and then kind of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
The political side of the game he needs to work on.
And I think staying active is very important for him too, because he only fought once in 2019. He was active in 2020. Most people forget that he fought 3 times in 2020. He fought in February, he fought in June, and then he fought in August, and then he was off for 9 months. Of course, he was supposed to fight in December before Cody got injured. So that fight was off the table. Then he was supposed to fight Barzola, and then Barzola, who couldn't get cleared by the commission because he had a medical suspension, so that was off. And then they rebooked the Stamen fight for February, and Marab caught a gnarly bout of COVID, a really bad one that put him on his ass for a couple of weeks. He was in really bad shape. And then there we go. So yeah, if he can come back quick and run off another win or two, I think he can get some of those big fights. And I think he can get a top 10 fight right now. I think they're going to throw him a bone. I don't think he's going to get Dominick Cruz, but I think he'll get somebody in the top 10 next.
Cruz is sitting at 9.
I think Cruz he already kind of fought someone behind him. Now I think it's time for to fight back-to-back guys behind him for Cruz. But I threw out the name Frankie Edgar. Is that crazy?
I think Frankie's still recovering from getting kneed in the face.
How long ago was that? Give it 2 more months. I'm just saying. And Marab's not a knockout guy, So I'm just tossing. Frankie's
you got the Long Island, New Jersey rivalry right there, I guess.
I'm excited about Marab.
I'd watch it.
And I think Marab.
Well,
Marab's exciting too.
Frankie...
I like his personality too. I know. Is that beard new? He had the beard tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the beard.
Bearded Marab.
Beard works. It works on him.
If we're gonna give Dominick Cruz or Frank Edgar 2 months to recover, why not just make the Dominick Cruz fight? Because they're right next to each other in the rankings. Cruz Edgar.
Jose,
and then Marab.
Jose, that breaks the golden rule.
I know. I know,
He's just-
but a lot of rules were broken today. I bet he gets like a Sunsao or Munoz.
The Sunsao's
I don't
got to
think I
fight.
know. Does that? That's right. Munoz maybe.
Munoz makes sense.
Munoz,
Well,
Munoz
Munoz
is interesting.
Munoz, I think, is recovering from something because I don't think he turned the O'Malley fight down for some reason, and then O'Malley is apparently booked with someone else. But we don't
Yeah,
know.
O'Malley's saying he's fighting Cruz, but we don't know if that's actually true or not. And from what I understand, and I believe our good friend James Lynch talked to Corey Sandhagen this past week. Sandhagen said he was, when Dillashaw was removed from the fight, the UFC offered him Pedro Munoz as a replacement for next Saturday, and Sandhagen said no. I'm gonna wait for TJ, which is
gonna
probably
be
smart on his end.
Bantamweight rules. It's going to be so hard to match make a lot of these guys, like because it's so many people that happen to fight down. Like if you look at like the top 10, Sterling, current champ; Jan, former champ; Garbrandt, former champ; Aldo, former champ; Edgar, former champ; Cruz, former champ. Like what's that? 6 former champions in the top 10. Someone's got to fight down.
Yeah, and Rob Font's about to fight Cody Garbrandt later on this month. So if he beats Cody Garbrandt, good lord.
And
He's right there.
Marlon still has to come back at some point.
Oh yeah,
Aldo's still not matched up. Kyler Phillips is undefeated. Cheeto Vera is still out there kicking legs.
Kyler has a fight.
Does he?
Yeah, he is fighting. Hold on, I gotta see.
Is he not the one facing us?
He's
himself?
fighting. He's fighting Rafael Santos.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the fight.
I'm into it.
Rob versus Jimmy Rivera is interesting.
Yeah. But
I know where
Jimmy Rivera just beat Stamen, so I that would make sense.
I know we're not on the questions portion of this show yet, but I just had to read it because I don't think we're gonna formally answer this question from Gino. Would MMA fighting even bother to do a post-fight show next week? That card sucks. SUX. Oh, come on, Gino. No, stop it. That's not. What is the card? Have they officially? I'm looking
They
at
didn't
Wikipedia
talk
right now.
about the card next week at all.
Oh,
No,
yeah, they didn't even. Oh, you're right. Wow.
Well, because someone else asked, I think.
Wouldn't be surprised if
I don't think the main event's official yet.
Right, it's not official, right? We think it's going to be.
I thought Michelle Watterson did the little dance on her Instagram or TikTok. Main event.
Right.
I guess maybe she was just trying to make it happen.
Who's
And
she
from what-
supposed
from what
to be fighting?
Marina
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Yeah, Rodriguez.
Which is a great fight, and I don't know why people are crapping on it, but I get the letdown from thinking it's gonna be TJ.
Right.
Yeah, I mean I get that. Yeah.
And
from
from
what I understand,
off, right?
and from what I understand, that fight will be at 125, not 115.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I
For the
think we're
short
okay
notice
with that.
nature of it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why bother? Cerrone, do we think they find him an opponent?
Emil
Yes.
Meek.
Emil Meek? Is that your pick or is that the rumor right now?
That's my pick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun one. Yeah, that would really help.
Yeah, I
to
don't know.
keep a cowboy
I
fight card.
since I control our MMA Fighting's Instagram page. Emil Meek has tagged us like every hour. Like he tags us, like Junkie, like ESPN, Era Hawani. It's like I'll wake up and it's like Emil Meek has tagged you in 13 stories. I'm just like, Jesus, man. And it's just like, give me the fight.
Really hope he gets it. Oh, Neil. Oh, Neil's next.
Oh, he
Gregor
was
Gillespie's on
he
the
was Angela Hill. Ben
Yeah.
Rothwell's
There's
fighting?
good fights.
Gregor
And
Gillespie's
Neil
on this
on
card.
Neil.
Yeah, Gregor Gillespie, Diego Ferrer, what? Bill Haas, come on. Who put that
Croce-
comment out there?
The crochet boss comes back.
And
good question, Gino.
we'll be talking about Bellator's card on Friday too, and what they'll have.
Yes,
they
we
have
will.
We lost Romero Johnson. I don't want to talk about that.
PFL
that's
week
a great card
3.
too. Yeah.
PFL, we will definitely be talking about.
Gregor Gillespie is fighting Diego Ferreira. That is a ridiculous fight.
That's good
It's so-
stuff.
Man, I don't know if this, I'm looking at Tapology, so I don't think this is the proper bout order. But man, I like.
They
this
haven't
card's
announced the bout order yet.
Yeah. This fight night ruled. It was an awesome fight night with the original main event. Obviously, it's a really good fight night now, but
Oh,
Yeah, I
here
mean, it's
to answer your question, on the Q&A, I believe AK. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Adeshev fighting Ryan Benoit 3-3 in his career, so he could be sub 500.
Oh yeah.
He just
he's
lost
a
to
weird guy.
Sumadarja.
He got off to a hot start with Bellator, and then was picked up by the very strange. I've never seen him with an arc like his, so very strange.
Yeah, he's 0-2 in the UFC.
Yeah.
And then on the Bellator card the day before, we're gonna have obviously a great main event with Archuleta Pettis. Anthony Johnson's making his comeback against a victim. Patricky Pitbull MVP is back against a quality opponent with Derek Anderson. Patchy Mix as on the card. Henry Corrales is making his bantamweight debut.
We might do 2 post-fight shows next week. You know what? Let's do it, guys. Let's do a Bellator one.
Lorenz Larkin is back. Come on.
He's fighting Rafael Carvalho.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something stupid though. Why is Lorenz Larkin not fighting Michael Venom Page? That is to me is so I get both fights rule, but one of them should be fighting Lima, and then the other or fighting each other. Get it together, Scott Coker.
Look, Rich Chow leaves and everything goes to shit. they lose their matchmaker.
No, this was pre.
I know,
I'm pre matchmaker leaving. You think Scott Coker and Rich Chow are going to give Michael Venom Page a hard fight? No, come on.
Derek Anderson's a good step up though.
I love that fight. I love Michael Venom Page, Derek Anderson. But as soon as Lorenz Larkin signed, I was like, if you don't give him the title shot, give me Michael Venom Page, and it just hasn't happened.
Okay, but so I talked to Lorenz Larkin after the Japan fight where he looked ridiculous, and I asked him about that fight specifically. He said that they're both under the same management firm and all that. They're both Paradigm guys, and that's kind of part of it.
They're also really good friends. Lorenz I got the sense that they became really good friends during fight week. They were on the same card and they just became buddies. No friends in MMA. Fight each other. Savages.
Be a savage.
You even heard Yuri tonight. Yuri's like he's from the Czech Republic, and he's like Blahovic is my neighbor. I like him, but if it's for a title, whatever. I'll fight him.
I'll knock his head off.
There you go.
Maybe. And listen, I'll be there. I will be at that Bellator card.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some excellent coverage then next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will be there on Wednesday, and it should be fun.
Alex Savas will come on the post show. She's working that card.
Nice.
There we go.
What about? Oh, I dropped my laptop. Well, I was gonna say, what about this, Alex? But I guess we now know why
Alex. I think it's time
why she's called Cool Alex.
I think it's time for you to go to bed, Alex.
I was gonna say, I think guys calling me. I think they need me. I think they need me to help with stories. Maybe I should leave.
I think you should take Bellator off. Go find a new color to paint your wall, and then get it together.
That's better than the landline. Better than the landline.
I have my laptop balanced on some books here. Okay, to get it to the proper height. So it's at a proper height. So I'm not, I've got it exactly where I need to be, but I just got a little, I start talking about Cool Alex.
I think it was just showing your ceiling fan for a couple of seconds, or whatever.
I was thinking, is there anything else? A poster of Jose up in my thank you. Nothing like that. So it's all good.
Oh man. Oh, that was great. All right, let's go to the peeps. Good God.
Okay. Oh God. Sorry. I love you, AK. I love you.
I'm not leaving on that note. I'm answering this first question, then I'm leaving.
All right. Oh wait. Sorry. That was
from earlier today. The question. Yeah. About all
right. Okay. Let's talk about this. We didn't talk about it, but too small.
The Markos DQ was crazy.
It happened.
I mean, AK, let me ask you this: was this the worst possible result for Randa Markos? Like, could this have gone any worse?
No, because obviously I think the opposite. I think straight up loss would have guaranteed she was cut, right? Even though it was an exciting fight, even if they like one fight in the something, she probably wasn't going to get cut. Based on what we were saying earlier, she would have been below 500 in her overall pro record. It would have been her fourth straight loss.
I think it's more than that.
It would have been her fourth straight, fifth in her last 6 fights. So I thought the fact that she was competitive looked good, and 2, the fact that it had a screwy finish. I feel like you can't. I feel like you can't cut her off of that. I think Pinheiro was like on. Well, I know it was only the first round, but I mean, I think Pinheiro looked good. I think she was the favorite to win. I think she was going to win, but we'll never know if she would have won a decision now because the way it ended, or if she would have finished Marcos and what have you. So it was crazy. I know, Casey, you didn't love the call. So just sort of in advance, I'll say it was an illegal strike. I think it did a lot of damage. I don't think Pinheiro was necessarily acting. I know Felder kind of threw that out there in the broadcast. She was definitely hurt. And mainly because I think she was winning the fight, which is why to me it wouldn't make sense that she would want to take a way out like that. But who knows? Maybe she was tiring if you want to, go down that road. But I'm okay with the call that was made by Mark Smith. It was a crappy way to end the fight. And then, Casey, you're more saying you wish it was a no contest. Is that right?
Yeah, I absolutely wish there was no contest. I believe it was completely accidental. I mean, considering the first kick was right to her shoulder, and then the second kick just kind of went up, a little bit more. I just thought it was an accidental. I mean, and the rules are set up that way to protect the person on the bottom, but we wind up having the situation where it's the person on top that's the person that's what I mean. And I just think it's a stupid rule. I mean, I thought Angela Hill tweeted out the same thing. She says up kicks from the person on bottom should be absolutely legal. That's not the intent of the rule to protect the person above. It's protect the person on the bottom. And I just think it's a crappy rule. Okay, I hate grounded knees. I hate that the grounded knees are illegal. I hate even more that up kicks are illegal. So it's a stupid rule. And if that lady wasn't faking that kick, Randa Markos has the most vicious up kick ever in MMA. That's all. It looked odd. I'm not gonna say she milked it, but it looked strange, and I think we were all thinking what Paul Felder was saying. That's all.
Did you see the video that Helen Yee posted of Pinheiro getting like carried out? Like if she can't
watch it.
Yeah, if you can't, like, I'm surprised they didn't like force them to bring a stretcher out if she can't physically get to the back on her own will. You know what I mean? Like, where's the stretcher? I thought that was kind of weird.
It was an odd situation.
I'm watching it now. She's literally like being carried like a baby out to the back by her coach.
I mean, how many knockouts have we seen in this sport? And like people get to get carried out like a baby. Like there was just legal or not legal strikes. That's just kind of, come on.
It was odd. Yeah,
it's odd. I'm not saying she's faking because who knows, but it was odd. We've been working in this sport long enough to recognize that's odd. That's all.
It was
Look,
strange.
Casey, just go all in on it. Stop backtracking like Felder did. Felder, I think, was feeling it. I think in the back of his mind he was thinking about, oh my gosh, if I go too in on this narrative, Joshua Fabia is going to get another call from Fabia for my disrespect of the fighters and for creating these negative storylines. So I do think the influence of Fabio was felt tonight, of course, and Paul Felder would not want to make that man mad.
It's because Fabia taught Diego Sanchez the heart punch. Remember?
Yeah.
And remember what he was saying about Michael Chiesa? He called Diego Sanchez the punch of death. He clearly taught Randa Markos the up kick of death.
Okay, good.
Well, I thought the case of it wasn't a death choke or something, or maybe both.
Regardless, it's all skullduggery.
Well, Felder, he graduated the School of Self-Awareness. That's all I can say.
He did. Well, that's why he has a broadcasting gig and someone like Josh Fabio.
All right.
Yeah, Fabia is the Gary Busey of MMA. There's no doubt about that. And Paul Felder, with his commentary, he was doing like the verbal hokey pokey. He was putting the thought in, then he took it out, and then he kind of put it back in again, and then he shook it all about. Like he did all that stuff. Does Yuri get a title shot? If he wants it, yes. It just depends.
It's not up to him. It's up to the UFC. I'd still say to give him Ratchik just to have those two on standby for Jan and Glover. Because like we all agreed, Corey Anderson probably deserved a title shot, and he's had to fight Jan. Should have just put those all on the same card rather than a week. What I don't want is them fighting like a week apart. Like I get why, like because Ratchik and Yuri rules as a 5-round fight, but that fight's not going to go 5 rounds, so might as well just make it a 3-round fight and make it the co-main event.
I hope Yuri gets it. That would most likely mean that he would have to wait till December at earliest, maybe the new year
next year.
Oh, even next year, yeah. Depending how crazy the I guess the Jan Glover fight goes, but yeah, that is a long time to wait.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
If Europe opens up anytime soon and they want to make like a Ratchik Yuri like main event somewhere in that part of the world because they're both from that area, I'm all about that too. Like just a number 1 contenders fight for like the Eastern European. That'd be great.
Do you get some and I know they're very different, but some kind of almost Justin Gaethje vibes from Yuri?
Tony Ferguson, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Justin Gaethje in the sense that he just came into the UFC kind of like not as a prospect, but basically, here we're gonna give you a top level fight, and you win this fight. You're pretty
Michael
much
Chandler.
guaranteed.
Michael Chandler.
Yeah, Michael Chandler. Same. Yeah, that just and you win exciting. You're there. You know. So you only fought 1 time in UFC. Yeah. So that's cool. Good.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
I'm sure they
Yuri's kind of getting the success that Manel Cape.
I was about to say
that's
what I'm sure they wanted Manel Cape to do, but didn't work out for him. And Manel Cape had a shorter path at flyweight.
Yeah,
1 win, he probably would have got the title shot.
Yep,
100%.
One more question for me, and I better
we already answered that one.
Go do my part for the writing.
Okay,
thank God.
Oh no, sorry, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay, well, again, it's not my birthday, but I welcome all the love.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that up there.
Happy Halloween.
That's fine. We all make mistakes.
This is just for Jose and me, I guess, because I know you guys are going to do your show tomorrow.
I can talk
I don't hate this fight. John Deegan says Reyes versus Anthony Smith. I don't hate it because there was some sort of beef, I think in 2018, but I think they squashed it. It was mostly like someone alleged turned down a fight and vice versa. I don't hate that fight at all, but if they want to do like Reyes versus like Jimmy Crute, I don't hate that either. Yeah, I'm fine with any of those guys in the top 7 area. Even Santos would be a banger, but then I don't know if you want like the loser that would be on a 4-fight losing streak between Reyes and Santos. I don't think you want that to play out.
Yeah. We'll, as you said, we'll talk more in our matchmaking show. But I'll just say I'm probably angling more toward like we don't have to keep putting Reyes in there with top 15 guys. I'm sure he wants to again. But I would love to go outside of the top 15 and just look a little bit further down. Maybe get the loser of some upcoming matchup that's coming up. Again, I'll have to listen on to the next one to find my pick. But
Craig and Jamal Hill, I think.
Sure. I mean, that's I think they're right out there. Yeah, exactly.
Reyes,
and
is Serkinov matched up with anyone? Serkinov's coming off a loss, right?
Yes, I don't think he's matched up.
Who did he just
right
lose to? Who did Serkinov
Ryan
lose
Spann?
to?
Spann,
yeah. Like Serkinov Reyes, I think that'd be a scrap too.
We can go low. We don't need to. Yeah, let's tell because again, those are 3 really tough fights. John Jones, Jan Blachowicz, your Procházka. There's no easy fights at the stage of where Dominick Reyes is right now, but we can kind of try to help this guy rebuild a little bit. I think there's still a lot that Reyes has to offer to the UFC. So
this is where I think boxing does get it right. If it was Dominick Reyes was a boxer, he would be fighting someone that. I don't know. Not even
You're fighting OSP.
Again. No, I was thinking.
He already fought.
I was thinking Kudalaba.
That's what I'm saying
Jacoby.
again.
Yeah, Kudalaba or Jacoby. That kind of that area for Reyes. That's what if I'm Reyes' management Reyes, guys are big egos that they wanted to give me the top guy, the biggest guy, but I would pay someone outside the top 15 or right around outside the top 10 at minimum.
Who's Devin Clark matched up with?
He was supposed to fight next week, I think.
What about Menefield? I know he just.
Oh no, he was supposed to fight tonight. He was supposed to fight Kutalaba tonight,
right?
And he had to pull out. That's why
Menefield
got him.
Menefield. Someone like Dominick Reyes, Menefield. Those fights kind of make sense.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. You can't put
Oh,
Menefield into that guy.
Shooting it down already.
What about Shogun?
You can't do that. That's better. I don't mind that. That's fine.
Okay.
Shogun's probably on his way out. If Reyes gets the win, he gets the rub of beating a former champ. If he loses, then might as well just start losing weight.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, Menefield just not enough experience. That's like way too big of a mismatch. No disrespect to Menefield. I just feel like.
What about the loser of Jamal Hill and Paul Craig? Like Craig and Jamal Hill are what, 14, 15? Something like that.
I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both 14.
Paul Craig is the only one that's beaten Ankalaev. Remember, he got that like submission at 4:59.
Yeah, like last second. Yeah.
Yeah, saved his career.
Yep.
Okay.
The only blemish on Ankalaev's UFC.
The problem is so like light heavyweight division has had so many like people leave, like Jones, Rumble, Corey Anderson, like they all left.
DC,
DC, they all left like in the span of like 2 years. So like 2 years ago, if we have all those guys, like Jamal Hill's not ranked. Like Jimmy Crute's probably not ranked. Ryan Span's probably not ranked. So like a lot of these unranked guys just happen to find themselves 15, 14, 13.
You can do the rematch of those, Demir. It's not a horrible idea because that fight was pretty controversial.
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
just don't give him Ankalaev. Don't give him Ankalaev.
No.
I know. The UFC's already like.
Please,
don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, terrible idea. Or a middleweight that wants to go up, maybe.
Yeah.
Like remember we fought Weidman.
Reyes versus Luke Rockhold.
No, I want Anthony Smith to fight Luke Rockhold if Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
That's definitely the fight to make. I don't know why. I don't know what we're waiting on with that one, but are you leaving us, AK? Is that what's about to happen?
I think so.
I think we're all leaving. I think
we're all leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
You guys are done. You don't have to leave just because of me. Am I shutting the show down?
No, man. We can.
Oh, I guess
we're done an hour, right?
Yeah.
Has this been an hour?
Oh wow.
Yeah, an hour and 10 minutes almost.
Holy
all right.
shnikes.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Loma. I know, way early in the card, but I love watching Loma fight. I'm really bummed she didn't get a post-fight interview because I love hearing her speak.
Yes.
And
I saw someone answer. I asked that, and someone answered. I think with a somewhat reasonable answer, like, "Oh, it wasn't at like one of the top. It didn't fit in because it went to a decision, and it wasn't like it was kind of confusing. Like it wasn't at the top of 30 or the top of the hour or something." But I'm like, was she literally the only one who didn't get? Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, she wasn't. She was the only one that didn't get.
She didn't speak to us on Fight Island either.
Huh? Maybe she's not comfortable doing interviews, so it could be. Yeah,
no,
what?
She's fine doing
she's
that.
Fine.
The UFC hasn't, given her, presented her for, the cameras.
She was the only one. I'm looking at the lineup now. She was the only winning fighter that did not get an interview. Oh, Pinheiro, obviously, but other than that, she was the only winning fighter. That's weird.
It is weird. I don't get it. Oh, maybe because they didn't have a proper translator.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
That could actually that's actually
which also could have been the issue on Fight Island as well. Yeah. I love Loma. I think Loma looked great. She was expecting with this fight. Give Sam Hughes another chance.
Sure.
I think this matchmaking is insane. Tisha Torres on. I think she was short notice. I assume.
Yeah, it was short notice. Yeah.
Whatever.
Less than a week.
That's an insane to find Tisha Torres at UFC debut. What? And then and Loma Lookboonmee, who's just again as a blue chip 115er. I mean, I know she's really a 105er, but
yeah,
that's
I was gonna say
she's small. Yeah,
Loma looked like just thicker than usual in there.
Sure.
Because she's not
like
cutting weight. Is there a walking?
No,
weight?
I know.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like from the Fight Island
up?
card.
Oh.
Like she spent time bulking up.
Yeah, I think she
Maybe.
did. Bulk
Maybe
up.
she fought Jin Yu Fran. She's like, oh shit, like I gotta put on some sort.
Something.
She just looked. She physically, like she obviously is not. She's still the smallest 115er, but she just looked more muscular in there to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Sam Hughes is good. She was winning some of those striking exchanges. Like She's a talent, man. Let's please give her someone that's closer to her experience. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that because I guess technically she has more pro MMA fights than Loma, but I think people know what I mean. Combat sports experience. Yes, combat sports, because Loma's very experienced in things. But yeah, give Sam Hughes. If Sam Hughes gets cut, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing because I guess she could go back to LFA or she could go, get more experience elsewhere and come back. But I'd like to see her get one more shot in the UFC.
Yeah,
dude, she brought it tonight. That was a scrap. She was the biggest dog on the card. It was a close fight.
Good fight. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good fight.
Positivity, guys. Positivity. That's what I like to hear.
And Felipe Colares is just the toughest dude on planet Earth.
Holy crap.
Are you kidding me? Wow. That was some opening fight. That was wild. But all right, I guess we're done.
KB Bular, keep your head up, buddy. Keep your head up, KB.
All right.
Yeah. Just
now
don't
everybody go.
up.
Now everyone
Come back
go.
to Canada.
Now everyone go watch the highlights. Andrew Ruiz, Chris Arreola, because that fight ruled.
Yes. And AK and I will be back tomorrow morning, probably like 8 hours from now, recording on to the next one. Matchmaking. And thank you to Dustin Jacoby and Iwan Kutalaba. We don't have to matchmake for either of those guys. So there you go. Our show will be a little bit shorter. That means more time for listener suggestions. So hit us up and you'll hear them all tomorrow. So for Jose, AK, Casey Leydon, I am Mike Heck. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody. Happy birthday, AK.
Stop it.